Hey guys, it's Hannah. Today we're going to be taking a look at my code for our midterm project in C++, and we were tasked with making a text-based battleship game. This version is very similar to the normal tabletop version, but instead of white pegs and red pegs, we're using M's and S's, or misses, and sinks, or hits, or ships. So we are going to take a look at my code. So first we're going to start off with the ship class. This is kind of showing us where our ships are going to go. This is completely randomized, just based on how the game was made. So to take a look, we have the ship initialization. That's going to give us the name of the ship, the size of the ship, and how many hit points it has. The hit points are basically how long the ship would be. So if the ship on a tabletop version would have 4 pegs, that's how many hit points this ship would have. Then we are placing it on the grid after this portion is finished up. And once that's done, then we can kind of start to play the game as long as we have the other code. But we're going to take a look at the rest of the ship class first. So if a ship in this situation gets sunk, like I mentioned, the hit points being the size of the ship, that is going to display 0 or output 0. So that means that the ship is officially sunk and has no hit points left. Then we're going to move on to the board. So basically, this board is a 9x9 grid. This whole code is just giving us the visual for our game board. This code right here is going to place the ship on the board, and each portion of the ship is going to be marked with an S. And then we start to get into the board updating as the game goes along. So, like I said, we have an S here, but if the ship is hit, then it changes to an X. And then when it gets sunk, it will output that a ship with the ship name has been sunk. And if a specific attack happens to miss, then it will display an M over one of our O's or zeros in that section. And after each turn, it will tell us what the board looks like, and kind of displays everything that we mentioned previously with these S's, X's, and M's. Alright, then we're going to move down to the game class. This gets all of the visual things that we talked about earlier and implements them to make a real working game. So this starts it. It gets the display for the player 1 board, for the player 2 board, and then it places the ships on the boards. Once again, for player 1 and player 2. And then it sets the current player to 1 because that's how games work. And then this specific code right here is for turns. So in this if else then statement kind of thing, it just tells us, player 1, it's your turn to put in the coordinates for where you want to attack. And the same thing goes for player 2. And then it resets so that the current player is 1 once player 2 is done, and it goes on a loop. Then once it goes through this iteration up here, it checks our game to see if there's a player that has won. If a ship has sunk, then it kind of stores that, and by the end of the game, it displays up here, as we can see, it displays player 2 wins or player 1 wins, depending on, just who sinks all the ships. This is the code for the save states. As you can see, it's a lot. I have not been able to figure out how to get it. But everything outputs as it should. I just can't seem to get the text files and things like that to work. And then this is for loading the game. It should output, if you were going to load a save from a file, it should output that the game was loaded from whatever file name, but otherwise it would just say unable to open file. And then we are at our main right here. This is our main menu. So I've done it basically on a switch system. So if somebody were to hit 1 to start a new game, then we would move to case 1, where the new game would start. If somebody were to enter 2, then it would load the save game, and then it would output enter file name. And then if somebody entered 3, then it would end the game. If somebody entered anything else, it would output invalid choice, please try again. So we are going to take a look at it and test it out. Let me just get the output loaded up. So here we have our main menu, and we're going to try to play a game. So let's create a new game. And as we can see, we've got our game boards. This is player 1's and player 2's board. Let's give ourselves random numbers. Let's do 4 and 8. As you can see right here, it tells you how to enter it in, no commas, just 2 numbers with a space in between. And we can see based on the previous coordinates that attack was a miss. And additionally, the S's are displayed here for the ships, and that is for player 1, this is for player 2, and right now we only have 1 ship per board. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of this game. Thank you for watching.